Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Marketing Wizards Inner Circle Friday morning mailbag Q&A session. However we want to call it here. Let me turn down my music. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I've got my chair's really squeaky this morning, so bear with me a little bit here as I squeak away. And I've noticed that I've got these. I'm going for a haircut today because I noticed I got these little wings. Like I don't know if you can see them on the white of the whiteboard in the background there. These little wings going on back here. Oh my goodness, you guys! It is Friday. It has been a packed week. How has your week been? Curious to know, how has your week been? Because mine's been busy. Mine's been very busy. We had that awesome interview with Mr. Amazing Amos Bracewell. An absolute, where is it here? Here we go. Cheers to Mr. Amos, because that was a great interview. And last week we had Gresham on, so cheers to Gresham as well for last week. And I'm working on a really cool guest for next week as well, so keep your eyes out for that as we ramp up our interview shows. And we are a full 10 days now into November, you guys. So we are nearing the midway point of Q4 in your business. And it's time we start diving into some really nitty gritty marketing tactics stuff. So we could talk about grand strategy, strategy being sort of the overall arc of what you want to do with your marketing. But within every strategy, there's going to be tactics, right? There's going to be things that you have to do, because then if you don't execute well on the tactics, right, then you've got one of these types of moments. So the fact is that you want to have great tactics even within the framework of your strategy when it comes to marketing. And today we're going to go into a little bit of the sort of nuanced elements of tactics. Because as we near the end of this year, and as you're taking stock of how productive your business has been, how effective it's been, whether your coaching company has grown or shrank, whether your consulting agency has acquired more clients, whether your services business has been able to ramp up the volume of what it is that you do and bring on more people, right? When you're taking a look at the analysis of this, all of it has to be put into the framework and the context of how effective was your company's marketing for this year. Right? All of it comes down to that. So, as the great Brian Tracy said, pretty much every single strategic decision you have with your company is in flux a marketing decision. It's in part a marketing decision, right? So, we have some great questions. We have some absolutely great questions that we are going to get to today. But I just want to finalize or just launch off by saying welcome to the Marketing Wizards Inner Circle show. And as I said, every Friday we do these mailbags. So I get questions over the course of a week, some from our Compass calls, which are basically a one-on-one call where we dive into the numbers of your business and we understand where you'd love to get to, where you are, and you and I craft some metrics. So 3 or 4 key metrics that allow you to know that you're on track, aka like a compass, to get to where you'd love to be from where you are. So we book those Compass calls. They're normally 45-minute sessions. You can go to thankyouMediaGroup.com and book a Compass call from there. And so we do these Compass calls with clients. So some of the questions that I bring up in these mailbags on Friday are from there. Some of them are sent in to us via messenger or email. And some of them are ones that I encounter in my networking, just meeting people, meeting business owners, that type of thing. And they ask me these questions. So I kind of take the top 3, 4, 5 of the week and I deep dive on them. So I do a little work on them. And in the meantime, while I'm doing those, any of our live audience here, so if you're watching live, please put a 1 in the comment section. That would be great. Let us know that you're here. If you are watching the replay, give us a 2 in the comment section. It helps me know when and where people are watching. And if you're doing that, then here's the thing. If you have questions or you want to go a little bit deeper on a subject that I'm talking about, please feel free. Put it in the comment, right? Send me a message here in the comment section. I'll be able to see it, and I'll be able to take a look at what it is that you're commenting on, and we'll be able to go from there. So I just want to make sure that my broadcast is working properly here. So checking all my channels. Yep, okay, it all looks good. Excellent. So we should be rolling along here. I'm live there, just making sure. Sorry, everybody. I just always want to make sure I'm streaming properly here so we have full action on what's going on. Good. Okay, so excellent. So let's jump into question number 1 here. And question number 1 is from Charles. So Charles, in a networking that I was at, Charles reached across the table. Charles asked me a question across the table, and he said, "Do you have any tips for getting more attention on social media?" And I mean, I've got all sorts of cool ideas for how to improve your traction on social media. There's lots of different ways of going about doing this, obviously. But one of the key ones that him and I talked about, well, and the group of us at this table talked about, was about improving your hooks. See, the fact is we have a very small window, a very tiny window of opportunity to get someone's attention, right? To grab them and get their attention. And so you have to have great hooks, Charles. When in the industry we call them hooks, you can call them kind of headlines, or these are things that get your attention right away. Now, you've seen lots of great hooks in your lifetime. You see great hooks every single day of your life. You go to the grocery store, you look across the magazine rack, you're going to see a series of great hooks, right? Even like, hang on a second. Where is it? My newspaper, right? Arrived this morning here at the store. Okay. Don't miss out. That's a pretty good hook. What am I missing out on, right? Hooks create curiosity. They create a sense of urgency. They create a sense of engagement, right? Here's the normal front page. Abbotsford nursing students' education left in limbo by an understaffed college. It's a good headline. It's a hook. You want to know more about what's going on in this story. So these are different hooks are the things that are going to grab people's attention. And you see lots of these good and bad examples every single day. And in fact, one of the things that we put together is this. I pull this up because this is our new little e-workbook here, a little e-book that's coming out in the next few days called Go Big and Go Viral. This is a 2024 social media calendar. And as you can see here, this has got all sorts of amazing, just like day by day stuff to post for 2024. So here's an entire January schedule, for example, on what you can post. Okay, all sorts of ideas. But what's in here that's really cool, so let me unclip this, is how to go viral and create great hooks. And so I think my team and I put together, we've got over 150 or so ideas here on different types of hooks. And so what I did was I wanted to pull out, I didn't have a chance to do this with Charles, but I wanted to pull out my favorites. Now I wanted to focus on 5. Turns out I couldn't. I wound up focusing, I could have probably added 50 or 20. There's 150 in this book. But I grabbed 7, okay? So if you have a pen and a piece of paper, you're going to want to write these down. But here are 7 great hooks to grab people's attention. And as I said, there's a lot more that you can find inside this book that'll be for sale in the next few days. So 7 favorite hooks. The untold story of. This is a great hook, right? You can imagine how much interest this channels and grabs for people, right? The untold story of James the Palm, our Pomeranian who passed in August, right? The untold story of James the Palm and how he had serious weight issues after our firstborn, right? Like just weird stuff like that. I'm just pulling stuff out of off the top of my head here, right? The untold story of Jack's rise to power. I don't know who Jack is, but let's just say that was the thing. Or you could say the untold story of, and you're a coach or consultant, let's say the untold story of how I went from being a broke hairdresser to making my first 7 figures in the coaching industry, right? So these are all ways of creating an untold story. These are a hook that's going to grab people's attention, and they're a great way of ensuring the ideal client, right, the prospect that you want to attract with your marketing, raises their hand and says, okay, I want to know more about that story. Okay, so the untold story of hook number 1. Hook number 2, here's what happened when I, right? So here's what happened when I started using testosterone in my body, right? Here's what happened when I journaled every day for 30 days. Here's what happened when I spent 20 minutes every night reading with my son. Whatever it is, okay? It doesn't matter exactly what your content is, because that's going to be specific to you and your industry and the problems that you solve. But the fact is, here's what happened when I is a great way of getting people engaged in a story and engaging with your content, because you're going to give them value. They want to find out what happened when you did something, but it's a way of ingratiating them to you. Okay, number 3. Here are my top tips for accomplishing something in a specific time frame. So here are my top tips for writing great email in less than 15 minutes. Something like that. Here are my top tips for building a landing page with simple and effective templates, right? Here's my top tips for creating great content in less than 2 hours a month. All these different ideas, okay? And whatever your industry is, Charles, that's what you'd be focusing on. So these are my top tips for enter in a solution, okay, or an accomplishment in a specific time frame. Cool. Number 4, I tried a big influencers system, like a big guru system for a certain amount of time, and this is what happened. So it could be something like, I tried Tony Robbins' ice bath routine for 60 days, and this is what happened. Okay, I tried Mel Robbins' 5-second rule for 30 days, and this is what happened. So these are all great ways of giving somebody 2 things. One, you're telling them about an idea or concept that you would both know about, right? And you're just a little further on the journey than them. So it's an illustration of that. And then you're giving them a specific time frame into which they can see a result. Big, good hook. Okay. Hook number 5. Now I got to read my own writing here. Oh, yes. Okay. I can't even read my own writing. Okay. Blank that paid off for me, and how you can use them too in time frame. So something like email marketing that paid off for me, and how you can implement it in your business in only 30 minutes. Something like that. It could be a fitness routine that paid off for me, and how you can use it for only 15 minutes a day. Right? So these are a way of going, once again, you're taking a specific thing that you've done. See, all of these 2, I just want to reiterate, this is about ingratiating you. You are the unique thing that you've got. I'm going to say that again. You are the unique thing that you've got. Right? There's nobody out there that's uniquely fascinated or uniquely qualified to do anything. I'm sorry to break the bad news to you. Okay, Charles, you are not uniquely qualified to do anything on this planet. There's always other people out there who could do something similar, perhaps even do it better. But when it comes to your content, your unique mixture of interests, your unique mixture of experience, education, wisdom, knowledge, connections, and network, that's what makes you stand out. It's your unique concoction that stands you out from a crowd. So when you're talking about these hooks, that's why I'm making them so much about you, because this is all about helping you stand out from the audience. Okay. Hook number 7. It's dead. Is it dead? Is blank dead? Is Facebook dead? Is YouTube dead? Is email marketing dead? Is content strategies dead? These are great hooks, right? Because somebody goes, oh, interesting. Is hockey dead? Right? And if you want to be specific, you can say, is hockey dead in Vancouver? It's not, by the way. It's doing very well. But the fact of the matter is that you can ask that these are great hooks or headlines, right? So if you're using a routine, maybe it's a fitness routine, right? You can say, is CrossFit dead? And then your whole content piece can be about whether it is or whether it isn't. But people will be fascinated by that. Okay. And the last and the seventh one is, this one's great for building authority on something. You can say an insider's look at blank. Okay. So an insider's look at Facebook groups, an insider's look at, talk about email marketing a lot today, an insider's look at email marketing, an insider's look at the Go Big and Go Viral 2024 social media calendar. And they could be doing a review on this product, right? So an insider's look at something that your audience would be really interested in, right? An insider's look at, this latest fitness craze, whatever that is. Great hook to build content. So Charles, if you want to get more attention, we talked about doing great hooks. And those are 7 phenomenal hooks that you can use in your business that can make a really big difference when it comes to your content strategy. So I'll reiterate them really quickly without diving in. The untold story of ... Here's what happened when I started ... These are my top tips for blank in blank time. Number 4, I tried blank guru system for blank amount of time, and this is what happened. Number 5, specific thing, blank thing that paid off for me, and how you can use it too in time frame. Number 6, it's blank dead? Question mark. It's blank dead? Question mark. And number 7 is an insider's look at blank. So phenomenal hook ideas that you can really grab people's attention with, and they're going to want to stick around to find out what your take is on those situations. So great question, Charles. I hope everybody got great value out of that. Deep dive on hooks. If you want 143 or so more, you can pick up this little ebook on Go Big and Go Viral in 2024. Okay, next question from Stacy. Stacy says, I have a list, but I haven't contacted them in a while. Should I reach out, and how would I do it? Okay, so if you have a list, and Stacy and I were in a Compass call, so this is where this comes from. Yes, you should absolutely reach out to your list, Stacy. And it depends on how long it's been since you talked. Like if it's been several years since you talked to some of these people, you're probably going to need to have some stories built up as to, what you've been up to, where you been, right? And you probably have to ask permission to reach out to them again in your email going, hey, is it okay if you don't want to, that's fine. Here's a button to unsubscribe, whatever that is. So there is both an art and a science, okay, to resuscitating or creating that back and forth with your audience, especially when you haven't been contacting them for a while. Because marketing's job is to build trust, right? That's what marketing's job is all about. It's to build trust so that people believe in you and your solution, and more importantly, they believe that their problem can be solved. They believe in themselves. So this is about trust. And if you haven't talked to your audience in a little while, if you haven't talked to your listener in a little while, Stacey and I were specifically talking about an email list in this particular case. If that's what's going on, then there's an art and there's a science to that. So the art of this, and write this down, my friends, the art of getting back ingratiated with your list or building that trust factor is you've got to woo them. Not wow them. Woo them. W-O-O. I think that's how you spell it. Woo them. If you've got a bit of a dead list, that's your job to woo them back into your trust, into their good graces with you, right? You got to romance them. You got to bring your best. You basically have to do the first date all over again. And so what does that mean? Well, you've got to tell some stories. Bring them value. Give them a gift, right? And you've got to, that's the art of this, right? And then you also really have to be authentic. People love authenticity. They love when you're genuine about what you've been up to, where you've been, why it's been a while, all that stuff. They love it. They eat it up. It's a great way of connecting because everybody has their shit. Everybody's got crap that they've been through. So ultimately, if you can woo them by saying, look, this is what I've been going through, or this is what I went through, and now I'm on the other side, and I'm reaching out again, whatever it is, just tell great stories, be authentic to you, and don't be afraid of giving them some sort of a little thank you gift for being a part of your community and sticking with you. Okay? Now, the science of it is that from this point forward, if you want to build that trust with your list, you should have a system. It was a long time that it was, I had a list of people, and it was a long time that I hadn't emailed them very much. And you'll now know that as a Marketing Wizards Inner Circle member, and if you're on my email list, you're getting emails on a weekly basis. And I had to resuscitate that into a system, or I take the questions that I get, I put this show on, I email about my YouTube channel. I have a system of when emails are supposed to go out, what they're supposed to be on, kind of from a subject perspective. And I routinely make sure I'm dedicated to the system. So you have to systemize it so you stay consistent. The other part is that I would encourage you to segment your list. So in the science of this, you want to send people information that's specific to them. Like in the pet world here, we send information that's specific about the raw food that we carry, about our salon services. And from our perspective here at Time, when somebody buys our productivity shortcuts, they get specific emails that are about productivity and efficiency and focus, and then invite them to a Compass call. They're not about marketing because that's not what they engaged with. Does that make sense? So those are the two things that I would really encourage you to do, Stacey, is romance your audience, woo them back to you, and then set up a system whereby you can now, from this point forward, be consistent with your communication. It doesn't have to be daily, but it has to be something that they can trust, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever that is. Okay, great question. And then we had one from Cynthia. So Cynthia asked me, I was told to go from lead to sale as fast as possible. Is that a good strategy? I love this question. Because the fact is, Cynthia, is that you don't get to choose when somebody wants to buy from you. You don't get to choose. They do. And so I would encourage you to have what I call your marketing and the way you've set things up as a circus. I call it your circus. Because when I go to the circus, when I go to an exhibition or something like that, I get to choose what it is I want to engage with. Maybe some people are after the rides and they're ready to rock and roll and they're going to spend their 60, 70, 80 bucks and they want to ride every ride there is and they want a huge experience. Some people are going to come into your world, Cynthia, and they're going to be ready to buy your biggest thing. Some people are going to show up to the circus, pay for admission, and just walk around and see what's going on. And it might take them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 visits before they decide to do anything big. Some want to come in and they just want to play the cheap games. They just want to come in and they just want to engage on a little bit of a level to have some fun. You don't get to choose how somebody wants to engage with your company. The retail business teaches us this, and we forget about it all the time when it comes to the online world. Oh, they should have this structure and these are all the steps they take. Yeah, but in the real world, okay, somebody walks into the retail store that's on the other side of this wall that my family and I own. They walk in, they wander around, and they say, yeah, I'm just looking. They check things out, they look around at what we've got, and they leave. The next time they come in, maybe they buy a bag of treats for their dog. Next time they come in, maybe they buy a bag of treats and a new collar and a leash. The next time they come in, maybe they go, okay, I'm ready to take a look at raw food. The next time they come in, maybe they're like, okay, I've decided to book a salon appointment. I'm going to get my raw food and I got to get some treats. Like, you don't get to choose. Your job is to stay open and build the circus. Build the options. Okay, Cynthia? So that means that if they want to come in and they raise their hand, they're like, I need your coaching right away. This is what I need, right? I've been here, I've been there, I've struggled with this for the last decade. Now I need help, right? I bought this program, it didn't work for me. I bought that one, it didn't work for me, and now I'm ready. That might be the case, and now they're ready. You might also have people that download your lead magnet, that engage with your brand, they look at your content, and it could be 6 months before they decide to raise their hand. It could be six months, it could be 6 years. Your job is to build the circus. You need to have the options open and available for them to engage with your company in the way they're comfortable with, because you do not get to choose when somebody decides to buy. Your job is to remain open and serve the clients that are raising their hand and saying, I'm ready. I'm not saying you stop selling. I'm not saying you don't encourage people to buy. I'm not saying you don't book consultations with those people and make your offers. What I'm saying is you just don't get to choose when they say yes or not. You can make your best possible pitch, and I just might not be able to afford what you're offering. Might not be in my wheelhouse. Right? So those are the keys here, is that build a marketing environment. I call it a circus, so to give you guys some context, that's going to make sure that your people, your leads, your contacts have options. In your email, options to book consultations with you. In your marketing, options to grab a lead magnet and to get on your list, or to engage with your brand a certain way, or just blatant calls to action to book a consultation with you, or here's my course, buy it. Here's my e-product, buy it. Here's my supplements, buy them. You can have some of those out there as well. But the fact is you should have, as I said, I call it the circus, a circus of marketing, a circus that's going on that I can engage with your brand in the way that I want to, and in the way that I'm most comfortable moving forward with. And your job is to have those doors open and available. And sometimes they're not always going to be open and available right away. You're building a company, you guys. You can't expect, right? Like, it took a decade to build the retail business that I have now on the other side of this wall, right? You can't build in 10 years, or you can't build what we did in 10 years in a matter of a week. It's just not going to happen, right? The only people that do that is because they've already done it 15 times over in other places. So to answer your question, Cynthia, lead to sales fast as possible. I've heard that too. Find out which one of these people is ready to buy, as they say. And it's not that you don't say, hey, you're on my list. That's great. We guide people to do X, Y, Z. We help them solve this particular problem, right? If you want to book a consultation, call and find out if we can be a fit, you and I together, and we can help you. Then make the offer. It's not that you don't make the offer. It's not like when you go into the circus and someone says, yeah, I'm not really interested in rides. They take all the rides out of the circus. The rides are still there. It's just they're not the person that's going to be riding them right now. Does that make sense? So, yes, you want to find out who's going to be buyers by making offers, but don't judge them and then kick them to the curb. Don't say, oh, just because you didn't ride the roller coaster in my first time around, you're not going to ride the roller coaster in 6 months from now. Your job is to keep doing content, keep doing your marketing, so that when they're ready to ride the roller coaster, they're ready to ride the roller coaster, and your roller coaster is working well. That's the real answer, right? So once again, you guys, I hope that was valuable. And if you have any questions, please feel free to message them over to us. You can post them in the Facebook group. You can email them to team@thankyouMediaGroup.com. We will get them there. I'll post that right here again. And if you would love a copy of this Go Big and Go Viral book, as you can see, I've printed off a version for myself so I could just take a look and make sure it looks the way I want it to, and it looks good. So if you want a copy of Go Big and Go Viral in 2024, this is a full 12-month social media calendar. See, boom, 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 all those different. Here we go. October, all sorts of cool ideas. Like October the 16th, host a giveaway or challenge to encourage your audience to take action. Cool. Okay, I'll do that. Right. So if you want a copy of this, you will see it live on my social media channels in the next few days, probably no later than Monday. And you can grab it. It is on for a ridiculously low price, like 90% off of what I intend to sell it for near the end of the month or into December. So if you want to grab it now on early bird pricing, look for it on Monday, and you will see it there. I'll also send it over as an email as well to anybody that wants to purchase it. There's hundreds and hundreds of hours of research and planning that have gone into this thing. So you get to fast track all of that and take advantage of our work and put it to use for you. So thank you so much for watching, my friends. I have been Michael Bridgman. You have been amazing. And this has been another episode of the Marketing Wizards Inner Circle. So go out there, my friends, enchant your audience, make some magic happen, and I will see you next week. Ciao for now. Make some